Hi, this is my response for PE 570. Um, in terms of leadership, the first question is, do you think leaders are born or developed? I think leaders are born and then developed. You can have somebody who comes out and wants to be a leader, but only through learning from their mistakes, trials, tribulations, and experience does someone really become a leader. And I think it's if we're talking about administrative levels, then you're talking to somebody who's had to gone through a lot for a long time. Um, I mean, being an athletic director or administrator is not an easy job. I mean, just at my last job as a head coach at University of Hawaii, I had 6 athletic directors in 11 seasons. So, and that's a pretty big Division I school. So you're getting grinded. I mean, athletic directors, that's the worst, one of the worst jobs you can have because you're just going to get grinded, sucked up, and anything that goes wrong is your fault. The fact that you're a new AD means you're already in trouble. And if you're really good, then you're gone. I mean, the best AD I think I ever had was Kevin White at Arizona State at the time, and that guy was, I mean, he was incredible. I mean, that guy, it was unbelievable what that guy would do. But he knew his strengths, and that's the athletic directors. A lot of them that I've had that didn't last more than a year or two. They didn't know their strengths. It wasn't the right place for them. And it's just a lot of these guys are trying to make stepping stone, and which is fine. But to take a job that you just aren't, that's just not either you're not really qualified for, or you're a basketball guy moving into a football community or whatever it is. I think it's you're going to be in trouble. So as the book says, reading the book, I was laughing because the ones that fail, they didn't have the communication skills like like the book talks about. They were terrible either in micromanaging or whatever it was. The relationship just wasn't good with either the president or the chancellor. They weren't doing anything to make themselves better when they didn't understand what was really going on, so they didn't continue their education. And so I think that's there's a lot of stuff. So what qualities make an effective leader? Somebody who knows their strengths and sticks to them and really puts the people around them that allows them to use those strengths. An athletic director at a big school now is a fundraiser. He's a glorified fundraiser. And you better have somebody who's really good with facilities, really, really good with development. You better have an SID who's great. You better have, an entire management team. You're only as good as your management team with an athletic director because they might not even have a sport. You might have 21 sports and the AD's in charge of one, football, or two, men's basketball. So the other 19 sports or 500 athletes, things start going wrong and you don't have the people below you taking care of it. It's going to, the whole athletics department is going to take a hit. So, being able to manage and having good people around you and communicating, huge, huge things for success as an administrator. Just like, right off what the book was talking about in every chapter. What impact does my values, faith, and belief have on my coaching? It's bedrock, right? I mean, who I am is based on my values, faiths, and belief, and you got to be as honest and be a true servant leader if you want to be successful over a long period of time. And that's if you want to have a successful program, it's longevity. I think if you look at any great program, the coaches have been there a long time, or there's a long tradition within that program. And if you're not, true to yourself and true to your athletes and honest and open, you're not going to be there 5, 10, 15 years. And I think that's really what it comes down to is establishing a culture of honesty, openness, communication, and then building upon that for championships. The book touches on that too, about how it's about the student athletes. And as tough as that is at times as a coach, that's where your success begins and ends. And if you want to be there a long time, they better have the grades. You better have community service. And unfortunately, a lot of times you're going to have to win, or at least win the hearts of the administration and your athletes. So that's my response. Hope you guys are having a great day. Talk to you later.